The Orion Art Center needs your help to purchase a dragon boat. The Orion Center recently hosted several events and more are on the way. And the Lake Orion Fire Department is in the process of receiving equipment upgrades. Hello, I'm Ciaramitaro. We'll have those stories and more coming up on ONTV News. General Motors announced that they will be bringing in the production of their newest electric car, the Bolt, to the Orion Township Assembly Plant. The Bolt concept car was first unveiled at the North American Auto Show in Detroit last month. GM's North American President Alan Beatty confirmed that GM has invested nearly $200 million to bring out the Bolt and $160 million for tooling and equipment at the Orion plants. Orion is also home to the Chevrolet Sonic and the Buick Verano. GM says it hasn't determined how many new jobs the car will be bringing to the factory, but the plant currently has about 1,700 hourly workers. The starting date for production will be announced at a later date, but the finished product is expected to be out on the market by late 2015, early 2016. Those in need of emergency help in Oakland County will now be able to text 911. County officials have a new system that allows you to send a text message if you are unable to place a phone call. The text message option will help save lives for those who may have speech or hearing impairments, or in instances where talking on the phone may endanger your life. Dispatchers will respond to all emergency situations received through text messages by tracking your location, but urge people to always use the telephone if they are able to. And remember, tracking your phone by GPS will be much more difficult if your location services are turned off. Texting false reports or abusing the texting system will result in prosecution. The Orion Township Library hosted their 14th annual preschool and child care open house last week at the Orion Center. They invited all the licensed preschools in Lake Orion to come to the event, including private schools and even some schools from Clarkston and Oxford, allowing parents to come in and have a short meet and greet with several schools.
And this gives the parent an opportunity to see all the different schools, the private schools, the local schools, and we have schools from Oxford and Clarkston here as well that are in the surrounding community. So they get a wide variety of, of schools to choose from.
The library hosts this annual event to give parents a neutral environment to explore all their educational options.
I think they wanted a neutral place where people could come instead of being sponsored by a particular school. They can come in here and feel, relaxed and welcome to talk to everybody.
If you were unable to attend the open house, you can find out more information about all the schools in attendance at www.orionlibrary.org under the Directory tab. The Orion Art Center's annual Dragon on the Lake Festival has become Lake Orion's biggest event of the year, with last year's event raising over $8,000 for the Art Center. The highlight of the event is the Dragon Boat Race, in which dozens of teams compete for the coveted Dragon Cup. The boats used throughout the day have always been rentals, but organizers are hoping for something a little more permanent. On Sunday, February 22nd, the Orion Art Center held a fundraiser at Buffalo Wild Wings on M24. The goal of the fundraiser was to raise money that will go towards the purchase of a dragon boat. In recent years, the Art Center has hired Great White North out of Toronto to provide the dragon boats, paddles, life jackets, and staff to manage the races. The Art Center is hoping to purchase a dragon boat that can be kept in Lake Orion year-round to be used for the practice when warm weather arrives. Race director Rob Kavanaugh told us the goal is to raise $10,000.
Well, a brand new dragon boat costs about $12,000. They're authentically made all in China. But working smart, what we want to do is buy a slightly used one. They have international races, international dragon boat races around the United States at some of the bigger cities. And so what we can do is buy a dragon boat that's only been used in 1 or 2 races. So it's essentially new. It's like taking a car off the dealer lot, and we can purchase it at about an $8,000 price. All right, so we save $4,000 right off that, but you need to buy the life jackets, the paddles, you need to have insurance, and we'd like to buy a trailer to be able to move it around, and then also you got to pay for the storage of it. And so that's where the $10,000 number comes. And what we'd like to do is we've spoken with the distributors, and we can purchase a dragon boat for $5,000 down with 0% financing for 1 full year.
Of course, you can't have a race with just one boat, so the Art Center will continue to utilize the services of the Great White North for the time being. $1,400 was raised at last year's event, and organizers are hoping to raise $3,600 by the end of May and hope to get the boat in the water by the time the races return in August. The long-term goal is to have several boats displayed permanently in a new boathouse located in Greens Park.
We teamed up with Steve Auger and Associates, our architectural firm right here in Lake Orion, and they came up with some beautiful renditions of a boathouse of where we could store the dragon boat, and that solves a lot of our problems. It solves the logistics of transporting a 42-foot boat down to the lake. It actually takes advantage of a historical element here in Lake Orion, and not many people know, but there was actually a boathouse in Greens Park back in the day. Of course, this one's a little bit bigger, but it's what Steve Auger's team did is they did a beautiful rendition of actually developing a boathouse that looks like a trophy case for a dragon boat. And it actually takes in some of the architectural elements that are in our downtown community, such as the arches from the Grand Facade. And I'm just taken back by design. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But it's a long-term vision of what it could be. It's a dream.
Another fundraiser is scheduled to take place at Buffalo Wild Wings in April, and for a donation of $100, you can put your name on the new boat when it arrives. For more information, call the Orion Art Center at 248-693-4986 or visit their website at orionartcenter.org. A very talented young author from Lake Orion, Kennedy Keller, stopped by ONTV to tell me about her first published book and stories in the works. Take a look. Kennedy Keller is not your typical middle schooler. At the young age of 11, this Lake Orion native is already a published author. Her book is called Allie the Annoying Elephant, and it's about an elephant who loves to tell corny jokes, but has a hard time finding friends who will stick around long enough to enjoy her jokes. Allie eventually finds a lasting friendship and true love in a fellow elephant named Hippo. The book caters to children ages 3 to 6 and has an important moral to its tale.
You shouldn't change who you really are just for some person that you don't know, like you just met them and they're like, well, I don't want to be friends with you if you have blah blah blah. So you shouldn't really change who you are, because if there's no point in doing it. You can find somebody eventually.
Kennedy gets her creative genes from her father, who is also a published author, but it wasn't until Kennedy saw her own name in print that she began following her big dream of becoming an author.
My dad had put me in the acknowledgments of his book, and I thought I was like super famous. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in a book, oh my gosh, I want to write a book, Dad, let me write a book, Dad. And he was just like, yeah, sure, you can go write a book. And he was kind of being a little bit sarcastic about that. And I went home, and for the next couple weeks of school, I wrote the book every day in class, and like I didn't have to do my schoolwork. I did my book, and I was like, Dad, I finished it. Okay, now publish it. And he was like, this is actually a book. And I was like, yeah, well, what did you think I was going to do? I told you I was going to write a book.
The now bubbly preteen began writing Allie the Annoying Elephant at the age of 9. She says inspiration for the characters came from her classmates and friends who are all portrayed in the story.
I kind of asked them what they wanted to be, what their name wanted to be, what their problem was. And so I did that, and my teacher was in the book. She was like the best teacher I've ever had. And I named, in the book, she was very tall and skinny and all she ate was salad. So in the book, I said, Leaf the giraffe is tall, so she can't hear the jokes. And she's tall and she eats leaves, so I named her Leaf.
But Kennedy's stint as an author isn't even close to being over. She wants to turn Allie the Annoying Elephant into a series, and she's already working on book 2.
So right now I'm actually writing out the newest book. It's going to be about they're going on their anniversary with their kids into space, and then there's 2 monkeys in space that kind of hijacked their spaceship.
The young author has an important message for other children her age looking to follow in her footsteps.
You can really do anything you want. It's just the fact of how hard you try. If you don't try hard enough, it's not going to happen. So you just have to really try your best to do it. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it.
For more information on Kennedy Keller and her books, log on to www.allietheannoyingelephant.com. In Lake Orion, I'm Ciaramitaro, ONTV News. Kennedy is a very bright young girl, and I'm sure her Allie the Annoying Elephant series is going to be a big hit. Coming up next, the Lake Orion Fire Department gets a much-needed equipment upgrade, and we take a look at Lake Orion sports. Stay tuned.
Hey kids, this is your old pal, the Easter Bunny, inviting you to hop on over to the Orion Center on Saturday, March 21st for the 2015 Bunny Bop. Bring a basket to hunt for eggs filled with candy and prizes and create fun craft projects. And of course, I'll be there for special photo opportunities. The family-friendly fun starts at 10 a.m. Pre-registration is required because space is limited. For more information, visit oriontownship.org or call 248-391-0304, extension 305. Hope to see you there.
Welcome back to ONTV News. The Orion Township Fire Department is getting new gear to stay safe. John Atwater has the story.
I'm standing in front of a mound of fire equipment that's over 2 decades old and unusable. But the Orion Township Fire Department is getting brand new equipment for over 50 firefighters.
The firefighters are currently using 13-year-old gear. Now they will get all new coats, pants, boots, helmets, hoods, and gloves. The boots they use now are rubber and don't offer much ankle support. The new boots are leather and offer much better support. The coats, pants, hoods, and gloves they are currently using have built up carbon from fighting fires. This carbon dramatically decreases the equipment's effectiveness and possibly places the firefighters in danger. For all 57 new sets of gear, the department is spending approximately $117,000. Chief Smith explained why this new equipment is so essential.
National Fire Protection Association out of Massachusetts, which we follow a lot of their rules and standards and everything, they indicate that you shall retire your equipment after 10 years, because what happens over the years is the guys are going into fires and that the threads and the materials start breaking down from the high heat and extreme heat, and that the helmets over the course of time will take bumps on them and stuff like that, and they just essentially get to the point they're not protecting the firefighter as well as they should be.
The old gear won't go to waste, though. Chief Smith is looking into donating the old equipment to third world countries who don't have any fire equipment. New vehicles are also coming to the Orion Township Fire Department. They have ordered 1 2015 Chevy Tahoe and 2 2015 Sierra pickup trucks. These new trucks will replace the older models currently in use. They will be used as command vehicles that will carry extra radios, batteries, and other equipment to battle fires and ensure firefighter safety. These new vehicles will cost roughly $86,000. Reporting for ONTV News, I'm John Atwater.
Thanks, John. The Orion Center held their annual Closet Clean-Out event on Friday, February 27th. Residents from all over Lake Orion were welcome to set up a booth to sell off their old treasures. The turnout for the event was excellent as expected.
We've been doing them for about 3 years now, and it's become something that people look forward to every year. So it's an annual event. We get a great turnout. The worse the weather, the better the turnout.
The indoor garage sale began nearly 3 years ago after a mother and Lake Orion resident expressed her interest in being able to be a vendor during the winter months when her children were in school.
Started doing the outdoor ones in Friendship Park probably about 5 or 6 years ago actually, and it was a request from a stay-at-home mom that wanted us to do one when her kids were in school. So that's actually how we started doing the indoor ones, was a parent actually asked for them to be during the week when the kids were in school, so just the parents could shop.
If you missed this one, the next closet cleanout will take place on Saturday, June 6th in the parking lot. The next major event to take place at the Orion Center is the Bunny Bop, scheduled for Saturday, March 21st, beginning at 10 a.m. For more information about upcoming events, log on to www.oriontownship.org. Now it's time to take a look at Lake Orion sports. On February 23rd, the girls ski team traveled to Boyne Highlands for their state finals. The first event was the giant slalom, where the girls finished with 70 points. Grace Stetsko led the team with a time of 29.8 seconds. The Dragons were sitting in third place at the beginning of the second event, the slalom. This proved to be more difficult for the Dragons, who finished the slalom course with 86 points. Stetsko again led the team with the lowest time of 36.29 seconds. With a total of 158 points, the Dragons finished fourth in the state, just 2 points ahead of South Lyon. Other top teams include Traverse City West, Traverse City Central, Bloomfield Hills, Marquette, Grand Blanc, Milford, and Walds Lake Northern. On Saturday, February 28th, the Lake Orion varsity cheer team took home first place at the 2015 Division I Regional Cheer Competition in Novi. They competed against 9 other Michigan teams and won by nearly 3 points, just beating out Granville. We caught up with the cheer team right before regionals to see how they were prepping for the big competition.
I tell my girls if we do our normal day, we'll make it out. If we do our best day, we can win. So that's what we've been focusing on this week.
Wonderful. And just talk about this specific group of girls in general, hardworking group.
Yeah, I mean, we have a very young team. At the beginning of the year, everybody was like, how are they going to be? And I said, well, they got to get out on the floor and we'll see. We have 3 freshmen who are all competing, 1s and 3 rounds. We have a large group of like 8 sophomores, and out of 25, that's a pretty good chunk being underclassmen. Our senior class is really strong too. We have 7 seniors, which is a smaller group, but they're all pretty competitive, a lot of 3-rounders, and so they've been leading us fairly well, and they've really hungry to kind of leave their mark. I mean, Lake Orion Cheer's always had a great history. We've made it states a lot. We have a lot of regional district league championships in the mix, but I feel like every senior class really just wants to leave their mark, and these girls are hungry to get some more titles and place high at state, so hopefully we can do that.
And they did just that, taking home the first place title at regionals and now advancing on to the state championship finals this month. Varsity cheer coach Nicole Hill says judges critique these athletes in a variety of ways.
You know, judges at this point, they're looking for really perfect execution, trying not to, have very many mistakes. I mean, we compete 12 times, so they want to see confidence on the floor. They want to see that the girls know what they're doing. They like to see a lot of variety, different skills, different arm motions, different stunts. And really the biggest thing I always say to my kids is about the performance. I mean, they want to see them having fun. This is high school athletics, and they want to see them out there just like showing their love for our sport, our community, our program. And that's, I think, the biggest thing. If the girls are out there having a good time and really giving them a good show, they're going to score well. So
we will bring you more information on the Lake Orion varsity cheer team as it gets closer to state finals. The Dragons hockey team recently faced off against their crosstown rivals, the Clarkston Wolves. John Atwater has more on the game.
On February 21st, the Dragon hockey team took on the Clarkston Wolves at the Detroit Skating Club. It was a high-intensity and fast-paced game. Both teams used the body to try and gain an edge over their opponents. Clarkston opened up the scoring with just under 4 minutes gone in the first. About 4 minutes later, the Dragons retaliated to even the score at 1. With 5 minutes left in the first period, Clarkston regained the lead 2-1. The Dragons finished the period strong and evened the score at 2 apiece just before the first intermission. From the second period on, the Dragons controlled the game. They scored 2 more goals in the second period and 1 more in the third. The Dragons won the game 5-2. These two teams will see each other again in the first round of the playoffs on March 3rd. For ONTV News, I'm John Atwater.
Thanks, John. For more information on all of Lake Orion athletics teams, log on to www.lakeorion.k12.mi.us. And finally, ONTV's Monica Nowak traveled to Oxford in January for an event known as A Taste of the Area. Here's Monica with more.
This year, Melody Piano, Third Degree Burns, and School of Bach all teamed up together to host the event in order to raise funds for the Phoenix North Rise Above grant. All ticket sales went directly to support this grant. This event honored Third Degree Burns' own Phoenix North, and the grant has been established due to his endurance, faith, hope, and courage to rise above the stroke he suffered 3 years ago. To do this, the director and founder of the event thought it would be a perfect way to gather the community and help raise money for an evening of refreshments and live talent.
I feel like this benefits the community in so many ways. First off, just bringing people together alone is a great thing, but getting to learn more about what's around you, not only within your own community, but with your neighboring communities, things like that.
All music educators who were part of this event had the same vision in mind when celebrating the youth and the future of bright, young musicians in the neighboring communities.
I want to add that this is one of the best nights I've had in a really long time, because this is like my dream coming to fruition. I really feel that I'm at home right now, and this is something that is really close to my heart, to be honest with you, as a music educator and as someone that's very heavily ingrained in the community and chambers of commerce. I really do feel that this has been a really great night, and I'm so proud of that, so proud. And my fellow host Gary Burns, who's the director of Third Degree Burns, my fellow host Jim Bach, who is the owner and instructor of the School of Bach in downtown Lapeer, Michigan. We feel that it's very important that we build a stronger bond with our fellow colleagues in the neighboring communities.
One of the crowd favorites was the band Safety Bricks, who played songs from alternative rock to modern pop, but the band saved a special surprise they couldn't wait to share with everyone.
Being able to play our new song, it was great. It was the first time that we had ever played it for anyone, including our parents, so it was really cool. We came out here because we really like to go out and do things in the community, and not just get ourselves out there, but perform in different places and for as many different people as possible. I'm really happy that they brought us out here and wanted to hear us play, and I really hope to do more of these kinds of things.
Other businesses went full out to attract people, such as Idle a While Coffee, where people can enjoy a delicious cup of coffee located in Oxford.
I think it's for a good cause, first of all, and also just people knowing about the local businesses is always a benefit. We came out here to show ourselves and get more customers and show people our coffee and baked goods and have a good time.
Adults had the pleasure of tasting wine from the Mulefoot Gastro Pub located in Imlay City, or drinking beer samples from 51 North Brewery located in Lake Orion.
As you can see, there's a lot of stuff happening here tonight, and I'm about to try the Sonic Chronic Purple Ice Red Wine. Definitely delicious, and it's all happening here at the Taste of an Area. In Oxford, I'm Monica Nowak for ONTV News.
Thanks, Monica. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of ONTV News. On behalf of the entire hardworking staff here at ONTV, I'm Ciaramitaro. We'll see you next time.